Hi everyone, I'm John, and welcome back to Puzzle Me This. This is part 6, so it is the 5-month update on the 42,000 piece around the world jigsaw puzzle. I really don't have anything to say at the beginning this month. I can just feel the disappointment coming from YouTube land. I will say that before I bought this puzzle, when I was looking at puzzles, I looked at the 32,000 piece Ravensburger puzzle, New York City window, and I liked that one too. And it turns out that Russell from Puzzling in Two Worlds has just started doing that puzzle. I think he is at maybe the 3rd or 4th section, and I'm really enjoying watching his series of videos. He really explains what he's doing and thinking when it comes to sorting and the areas that he wants to do first and which section he's working on. So I'll leave a link to his channel in the description, along with the other puzzlers that I watch, Judy, Donna Louise, Vicky, MJ, Karen, and of course Russell. That way you can watch some of their videos. So on to this puzzle. We are at 1,116 hours of total time on the puzzle. Now, someone in the comments asked me how I figure that out, and I take each person's time and add it all together. So if 3 people are up here working together for the same hour, that counts as 3 hours, not 1 hour where 3 people are working on it. So that 1,116 hours would be the same as if one person by themselves were working on it. So let me show you where we're at this month. First off, I want to mention that Donna Louise had talked on her channel, For the Love of Puzzles, about this, and she is on the 2nd section. She has completed now. And she mentioned this, and I thought about this when I did my 2nd video and we were working on the border. But I didn't say anything then because I wanted to wait and count and see if my thinking was right or not. But she mentioned it, so I'll mention it here. In my 2nd video, I mentioned that there were 81 pieces on each side of the border and 518 pieces along the top and 518 along the bottom. And that's 74 pieces per section for the 7 sections on each the top and the bottom. And a half a dozen friends of mine texted or called and said, hey, you're not doing a 42,000 piece puzzle. You're 42 pieces short. And they're right. But my thinking is that if I can find one here, right here, there are some pieces that are more like half pieces. And Donna Louise talked about a repeating pattern that is every 37 pieces, which is half a section, the pattern repeats itself, and going down the columns, there are 3 separate sections going down of 27 pieces each, which equal 81, and 14 sections would go across, which would give you 518 pieces. And she is right, I believe, because you have this section here that has these 2 half pieces, and then if you come down to here, you have the same thing and the exact same cut of pieces. So my thinking was that if there's 3 going down and 14 across, that gives you 42 sections of the same cut. So if each of those 42 sections has these 2 half pieces, that would give you an extra piece. That would give you 42 extra pieces, which would give you 42,000 pieces. Now, I don't have a whole column going from the top to the bottom done yet. So I can't count and see if there is an extra piece in those rows or not. Now, I believe the 24,000 piece life puzzle is exactly the same as this. It just has 4 sections instead of 7. But the cut, I believe, is the same. So somebody might be able to tell if they have that puzzle if there's a different number of pieces per row. But I wanted to mention that just to see if anybody knows if that's right or not. Here are some things that we're doing. As you can see already, I've gotten a lot of this sky done. I picked out the orange and pink pieces, or anything that had orange or pinkish tint to it. And these are the ones I picked out on these boards here. You can see I separated according to shape. I have the 2 ins and 2 outs going one direction and going the other on the same. I have the pieces that stand up and the pieces that kind of lay down, and the ones with 3 ins and 1 out, and 3 outs and 1 in. So that is how I've been doing the sky so far. Some of the cardboards we have, I'll show you the cardboards that we're working on, and then take them off and show you the table with what we have on the table so far. These are signs, and somewhere around there's a cardboard that has pieces of signs that just didn't fit in, but these signs were pretty well done, so I put them on a cardboard. These are animals, and well, that is a sign there, but it does have an animal on it. A lot of those are birds, and there are some birds in the sky. It seems like it would be easy to pick birds out and put them together, but there's so many of them that it is hard to do. These are flowers. These are also flowers. These 2 boards here are pyramid pieces. And I do need to go through the yellow cardboards over there, because there's more that I think are pyramids. And I do have them sorted according to shape also, to put them together. This is the bottom of the Christ the Redeemer statue. And then this board has more pieces that I think go with that. These are some pattern pieces that Mom was putting together. Here's some more pattern pieces. and more pattern pieces. A lot of them are maybe borders around the tops of buildings or things like that. There's some orange pieces with some pattern on them. These are our water pieces. And these are some orangish pieces. And some of these kind of brightly colored pieces. This is the Statue of Liberty. And this is a sail, and some of these are sails for the Chinese junk boat. And that's actually what it's called, Chinese junk. 189. I left it here just to prove that it actually is called that, Chinese junk, it says. So that's that part of that boat. And this is part of the Viking longboat. That's got a glare on it, but that's part of that. This is part of the Harley Davidson. And the Bourbon Street sign there, which connects to this brick structure here. And then this is the Conquerors of Space monument in Russia. I just have a little bit of that done. And so let me take the cardboards off and I'll show you the work that we have on the table. Okay. Before I took the cardboards off, I watched the first part of the video just to make sure it was okay. And I noticed how wrinkled my shirt was from hanging in the closet. But the video came out okay. And it takes quite a bit for me to get a video even that good. So I'm just going to let that be. But yes, I do own an iron and an ironing board. Okay. The first part you'll notice here is this orange. You might have noticed it from before even, the orange and pinkish pieces that I picked out. That is probably almost 2 weeks work. Picking them out and sorting them according to shape. I do have some orange and pinkish down there that I'll show you then. In the lower elevations of the sky, there's a good bit of orange and pink, and even some brownish color. Now, some of these you'll notice aren't in the right place. Some of these you'll notice are just not quite the right color for where they go. But like Donna Louise said, that there's a repeating pattern, and some of them will go in the next section or the section after that. But right now I know where they are, so I left them in. I think that the next sky part I do will be through here. It'll be the light purple color. And there is only maybe a foot or a foot and a half along the top of light purple for the sky. And I think I'll pick them out next. Some of these between these buildings here are also a light purple color. And then I think I will do the light blue color. Now that's going to be a really big section. There's probably 6 or 7 feet of light blue sky with some clouds in it. So that's going to be a lot of pieces to sort and pick out and do according to shape. But that will fill in a really big area here in the middle. And then, of course, the sky gets darker as you come down this way. Now here is some pink and orange that I picked out and put in. And I'm having a really hard time finding the clock on this side of the tower. This clock wasn't too bad. It looks like a clock. But this must not look like a clock on this side so much, because I just can't seem to find it. But I got some orange done there, and on this side that comes down to the mountain. I really thought my skyline pieces, when I picked them out, would be a lot easier to put together than they are. It's just really hard to pick them out. I do have some orange that was beneath these wires here, so they were easier to pick out. I had them picked out a while ago and put in. And I did this section down here this month also. A little bit of a glare on there, that's better. And there's a bird that goes right here. And like I said, those birds are hard to figure out, some of them. I'll come around. Here's some cardboards. I'm probably up to maybe 20 pieces of cardboard now that I have free. Now the long pieces of cardboard, when I consolidate some of those over there, I put them on big cardboards. So a lot of the big cardboards are still being used and still have pieces on. Now a lot of this is stuff that you've probably seen before, but it'll have more pieces added to it, which you might not even notice. Because I can go through the building pieces and put in maybe 30 or 40 pieces, and then I look back at it and it still looks the same. We did put 3 more towers up here. That's the Willis Tower in Chicago, and then the World Peace Tower, of course, in New York City, and the Empire State Building next to it. And I'm getting some of them put together. A lot of this was here last time. We are getting more of the bus and the cab, the double-decker bus, and the telephone booth, and the guard. We're slowly getting him put in. And the different things here. And this is the Charles Bridge in Prague with the dog and the cat. We're starting to get that together. This is part of the dancing building. Well, it's half of it, so I guess it's not dancing yet. It'll be dancing when we get the other half. St. Basil's Church in Moscow. That we're starting to get that together. And a lot of these were here before. This is almost connected from the top. It is connected at the top, but it's almost connected all the way down to the bottom. We have just, well, probably pretty much, but after coming that far down, it doesn't seem like much. And then we'll have all the way from the top to the bottom done. The Abu Dhabi sign, we have that connected in with these buildings now. And these up here, that is the pyramids. I showed you earlier a lot of pyramid pieces picked out. And behind those buildings and that sign are pyramids. So hopefully we can get that area filled in with the pyramids. And there's a camel here. We're getting the camel figured out. These buildings we had before, and we're always adding pieces to them. These are the Terracotta Army in China. It seems like that would be a lot easier. but there's still, I think, maybe 15 or so faces that Dad needs yet for that. So there's a lot of those pieces that we just haven't found yet. This is the top part of the lion sculpture in Nepal. That was kind of easy picking those pieces out. And then this we had before, and maybe some of these trees, this one and this one over here, Mom was working on. We're still working on the surfboards. We thought that would be a lot easier. And we did add this month Finder Street Station. That was some of the patterns that Mom was picking out. And we did get a good bit of that. That is in Wellborn, Australia. And then the Swan Bell Tower. That's in Perth, Australia. Now that goes up and has a bird right about as far as we've gone. And then a little more tower goes up into Foss Street sign there. So, and a lot of that we've had before. I got the plane up there and some birds in there down to the mountains. So that is pretty much where we are this month. Dad did get a little bit of the lion here. The animals are harder picking out too, which they are hard for me because it's just random kind of pieces or pictures on pieces. So we do still have a good many cardboards left. These are the dark browns, and those are still the red ones in the back there, and then green, and then the yellowish ones. I think there's a lot of pyramid pieces left in there yet that I need to go through. And then some of these are some of the buildings or things that we have started that just need to go someplace, that once we figure out where they go. We're not sure yet. These are my skyline pieces back here. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 cardboards of them yet. These here in front are the blue ones, or bluer pieces. Those are my sky back there, most of them. There's this one cardboard here yet that's shouldn't be there, but it's on top there. But most of them are sky pieces on that pile there. And there are pretty many cardboards there yet for sky pieces. So, but that's where we are right now after 5 months of working on the puzzle. So thanks for watching, and go put your puzzle together.